All brands, including personal brands, need to follow the one simple golden rule for social media. The other day, I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw this amazing video of this whale, this huge humpback whale, come out of the water and splash down. It was the most epic, amazing shot ever. I spent maybe a half a second looking at this and I immediately swiped. And I remember thinking in that moment, wow, how desensitized am I? This is like the most beautiful, majestic thing. And I'm just like, next, yep, don't care, whatever. But it got me thinking, I'm probably not alone. We're all a little bit desensitized to amazing content. And it's gonna get even worse. Not just the amount of content that's produced every single day. There's millions and millions of new content every single day, and old content. And now with some AI tools like Sora and some of these other text-to-video platforms, we're gonna start to see some very amazing, spectacular, scroll-stopping content, and it's gonna be overwhelming to the point where the extraordinary just becomes the ordinary. So it begs the question, A, what is the future of content and social media marketing? And B, how do brands stand out and gain attention? I heard the former social media manager of Red Bull say once that every company should ask this question: what is your brand about if you can't talk about your product? Now, if you look at Red Bull's social media feed, they never once show their product. There's no shots of the can in hand, no shots of people drinking it. Their feed is 100% about entertaining you through crazy extreme stunts. And this aligns with their brand persona. So a whale breaching on its own isn't interesting enough. So this is why branding is so important. It's about the stories that you tell and the emotions and the values that you align with. So I can't tell you exactly what to post to be interesting. It's going to be different for every brand, but I do know one thing: it needs to be interesting. People come on social media platforms to be entertained. They don't want to see ads for your brand. That's not interesting. All right, so let's look at this whale content. What is the way we could make this whale content more interesting? So suppose instead of just showing the whale, we told a story about a guy named Evan who maybe had some hardship in his life. Maybe he's recently divorced, he's lost his job. Maybe photography is his passion and he's always had this dream of being on one of these, National Geographic type expeditions where you get these amazing shots of nature. And he's always been fascinated by whales. And so going on one of these expeditions to Norway or some beautiful exotic place to capture a whale breach would be just like the pinnacle of his life. So the video starts out, we introduce him, introduce his passion. We see him on his journey and we see the emotion. He pulls us into the story. He wants to see this whale breach so bad. We're seeing him in the hotel. Maybe there's a problem with his camera. Maybe his ex-wife calls. Maybe his kid calls. He's crying, some FaceTime. It's really, really emotional. And then as he's out on the water, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And then suddenly this whale breach, he captures it and we see the video. You can start to see how we build in the story of the whale breach and why it's important. This is much more engaging. Now we're hooked. We need to know who Evan is. We need to know if he is ever going to find love. How's his career going to turn out? Is he going to, publish these photos? What's his next trip? Doesn't it seem like this is something that we would subscribe to and we'd want to learn more? This story has brought us into this world and now we've become invested. It's not just about a whale breach. It's about the story behind the whale breach.